Hi, this is Alex with Maple Leaf Coffee Roasters in Roselle. I'm here today to talk about a brand new light roast coffee we have from Ethiopia, the Ethiopia Hamamo. Check it out. So this is a coffee I'm actually really excited about for a light roast because I think it's going to be a fun introductory light roast coffee from Ethiopia for a lot of people who maybe have heard about like why Ethiopian coffees are great or why light roast coffees from Africa have something interesting going on into them. A lot of times when people try a light roast Ethiopian or African coffee for the first time, if they're not really into the coffee universe yet, it can seem a little bit off-putting because of the sort of sharp, tart, almost bite type of nature that coffees from that region or from that continent can have, especially the ones that are roasted really light. And this is one that I think will be a really great introductory African light roast coffee for a lot of folks that give a chance to see here's what it tastes like for a African coffee roasted at a light level to taste like and not be something that will be a really big turnoff because it's super sharp or tart or too much of any one thing. So on the face of it, it might sound a little bit unappealing that this is a pretty much a more mellow, easygoing light roast Ethiopian coffee. I think that has a certain attractiveness to it, especially for folks that might want to give this type of coffee a shot for the first time. So it has a really kind of complex coffee with a lot of interesting kind of flavors going on in it. That kind of touches a little bit of some of the conventional African coffee flavors that you'll see from various parts of the country. This coffee happens to be from Hamamo, which sometimes can have a really fruity nature to it. Sometimes it can be a little bit of a tendency to skew more towards on the Yirgacheffe side, where it's the light tea-like consistency that you'll see out of those types of coffees. But this is one that kind of touches a little bit in the fruity territory, a little bit into the herbal spice, kind of honey, tea-like territory, and a little bit into the kind of interesting different kinds of fruits, not your like normal blueberry, raspberry type of things that we've had some of those coffees from Africa taste like before. So this is one that has a kind of a softness to it as well. It is a wash process coffee, so it's not going to be a super varying taste with every sip of the cup, but it will have a certain complexity to it that you will be kind of surprised and interested by without something that has a sharp acidity, so it will not be a kind of upset to the stomach that you normally see in a lot of African coffees too. So I enjoyed this coffee quite a bit because of the kind of softness, the buttery, creamy feel that it has to it without being too much of that. It's not like some of the Costa Rican coffees that we get sometimes over the summers that have a really strong buttery kind of tendency to them. You do get a little bit of a green apple and a melon tint to it, not quite like a cantaloupe or something of that nature, but it's kind of there. You'll definitely see a different type of fruitiness, very different than the last African Ethiopian coffee that we had that had a very strong raspberry tint, which was really quite good, but this is not quite that. It's also got kind of a soft, richer sweet to it as well. Very kind of easy finish. It's not like I said, it's not going to be something that has a really sharp acidity to it. There's going to be every so often a little bit of a bite that you'll get into the once you kind of swallow. But this is going to be something that if you're a light roast curious, an African coffee curious person, you'll be able to give this one a shot without fearing too much that it's going to skew you into a territory that's going to kind of turn your face inwards and make you really dislike the experience overall. So there's also a little bit of like a honey sweetness to it too. Like I said, that complexity that's there, something that kind of touches on some of the conventional African coffee flavors without being too much of any one of those things, and even borrows a little bit from some of the Central American flavors that we'll see from time to time from places like Guatemala, Costa Rica, and elsewhere. So I'm really excited for folks to give this a shot. I think if you are a person that is interested in trying a light roast for the first time, has always heard about how great Ethiopian coffees can be, but maybe you've been a little bit careful or not super enthusiastic about going all the way to the most high-end, exotic, off the deep end kind of African coffee. This will be a really great one for you to try as an introduction to a conventionally delicious and easy on the stomach light roast African coffee. So look forward to seeing everyone again for another great coffee introduction video, and I'll catch you soon.